Hello, welcome to the JCPod. I'm your host, Jaden Chandler on Part 9. Week 8, man. Week 8. We are in Week 8 in the NFL, Week 9 of college football. I would say this is about when all the fun starts happening. We got college is basically, we're going to start having conference matchups. NFL, we're starting to just hit that mid-season stretch where we finally learn a little bit more about each team pretty much. I mean, it's pretty great time. Shout out to the D-backs and... Why can't I remember this team off the top? Rangers. Shout out D-back and Rangers. World Series bound. That's going to be pretty cool. That tips off tomorrow, or I guess opening pitches tomorrow. NBA's had its opening tip, but hey, we aren't here to talk about that today. We got three things we're going to do today. Pickem, NFL, or I guess college bets first, and then NFL bets at the end. I might talk about a little bit what's going around the sports world very, very briefly just in the day. But today's pretty much no football show day. So without any further ado, we're going to do what we usually do on Thursdays. We're going to go right over and start pick 'em. Yeah, as you can see from last week, yeah, no one really did good. I didn't do the worst, but as you can see, I had a lot of red. I got the biggest games for me was Baltimore. As you can see, I was only ended up me and first, second, and third were the only me. First, second were the only guys who picked Baltimore, so that was pretty nice. But yeah, not happy. I need to do better. Ever since I won that week, I've just been kind of like just in the middle of the pack. I haven't had really one explosive week that's done me well, so we're gonna hopefully have it this week. I'm not gonna say easy first two picks, but I just leaned Buffalo there because of Tampa Bay. Buffalo needs to win bad, but I could see Tampa Bay potentially covering. We'll talk about that game here shortly when I go over my NFL slate of my NFL bets for today. Because hey, believe it or not, I got Thursday bets for everybody. And it's on the show. Green Bay. I'm going to take Green Bay over... Ooh, actually, I lied. We're probably going to take Minnesota there. I'm going to put a very small number on that, but I don't trust Green Bay anymore. Green Bay's been playing awful. I'm tired of picking them. I'm tired of anything that has to do with them. Tennessee, Atlanta. I'm going to pick Atlanta here. I hate to do it, but I think Tennessee starting Will Levis or Malik Willis, that's going to be a hindrance to them. So I feel bad also, too, for all those people I told about, whatever you call it. The future. Yeah, the future for Titans to win the division. That was one I was on. It's hilarious. I took basically two divisions. I took them to win, and I took the Colts to win as a fan because I'm a fan, and those two are not working out too well. We'll just say that. Indianapolis, New Orleans. We're going to take Indianapolis here. I don't like the way New Orleans has been playing as of late. And I'm glad I get to pick my Colts again. Colts almost should have won last week against the Browns. Miami, New England. We're going to take Miami here. New York Jets over the Giants. That one's not too bad. This is one of the harder ones. Pittsburgh, Jacksonville. I'm going to pick Jacksonville just because I've had the longer rest, but this is going to be like we're going to do this right now. Might change this maybe, but that's going to be my 2-point game. Also, shout out the NFL. 6 buys last week, no buys this week. Pretty much, I lost fantasy because of it. That sucks, but it is what it is. But it's just weird how we had 6 buys last week, and now this week we have none. And I think next week we have like 4. I still don't get how they really work the buys. Philly, Washington, we're going to take Philly. I wouldn't be shocked if they lose here. Washington almost stole it from the last time, but Washington looks like a little bit of a mess right now. Jalen Hurts is hurt too, so that does kind of scare me a bit. Houston, Carolina. Give me Houston. I'm not picking Carolina until they win a game this year, and once they win a game this year, then I will consider picking them. I still don't even think I will then. Seattle, Cleveland, simply just because P.J. Walker's starting. I think Cleveland, it took a lot of injury. Man, this might be that's probably going to be a long one as well. I'm pretty nervous. I'm just going with the home team there. If Cleveland was at home, I potentially might pick Cleveland. I don't know in that game. That one's going to be a tough one. Kansas City, Denver. You already know. Kansas City, baby. Baltimore, Arizona. We're going to pick Baltimore over them. San Fran, Cincy. It's going to be a hard one. Brock Purdy's in the concussion protocol. So this is going to be... It's probably going to be like my 5. This is going to be a low game as well. I just don't know when it comes to that. Chargers against Bears. Chargers better win that game, man. They better win that game. Their season's been a mess. They absolutely need the win there. And I think Detroit's going to beat Vegas. I'm almost tempted to, that's going to be one of my higher ones of the week for sure. Vegas is butt. And Detroit actually wants to be good. I like all those by the way, for those of you who are new, I've gone months without those dogs barking during my show. Now they've been barking the last few. I don't know what is in with them. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's up with them. Let's go 24, 27. We'll go for a little shootout here, and then Chargers. Little shootout there. Chicago will go 17. We'll just go 21 for Chargers. Who scored the most this week? Sure, we'll pick. We'll go Baltimore. Actually, Baltimore scored most last week. Sorry about that yawn. We'll just pick Chargers, sure. Least amount. We'll just pick Chicago. I mean, there's nothing in Chicago. We're just picking some of the same games. Unless I see somebody who's like injured off the bat that I can't think about. You know what? I'm just gonna pick New England actually. Or the Giants, sorry. We're gonna go Giants. For those of you curious why I'm doing this, these tiebreakers just come in. Every year they come in about once or twice where it comes into a big moment, and if you don't have the tiebreakers right, it can kind of bone you. So I'm just trying to avoid that. Buffalo, we'll put a 9 on. The most confident game of the week, probably. I could definitely see Kansas City losing this game, but I don't think they should. We'll switch that one to 13 because of that then. And then when it comes to some of these games, Chargers at home, I mean, dude, they better. I mean, I don't want to put a 15 on them because they're the Chargers, but I mean, it's a home game against the Bears. The Bears just came off a big win with T-Bag, our boy Tyson Bagent. I don't think that, we'll go 14, 13, 13, 12. We'll do it like that, actually. Actually, we'll do the reverse real quick. 13 right there. We'll actually put my 15 on the. I don't know. I want to get these big numbers out here, man. We'll just leave it like that. I like kind of these big numbers for the Chargers game and the Baltimore game, but I want to make sure I get them because that's what's been killing me these last few weeks. I missed like 1 or 2 big numbers, and that bones me for the whole rest of the week. So I'm trying to avoid that. Houston, Carolina. What's my 16 for this week, actually? Probably Miami coming off a loss to New England. I think that one would probably be a pretty good 16, if I don't say so myself. Okay, sorry about that. Got sidetracked for half a second. So now we'll start going with some smaller numbers. My 1-point game, honestly, I didn't mean to do that. We will make San Fran a 4 though. I like keeping that a little bit longer. I accidentally made a decent pick. We'll do Atlanta as my 1. We'll do this as the underdog this week. Colts, we'll go 3. What the fuck? There we go. Sorry, I guess I misclicked. So leaves us with 7, 8, 10, and 11 left. We will go 10 Houston. I don't mind that at all. I like Houston. Dallas over the Rams. We'll do an 8 there, I guess. We're probably going to have to get rid of something. Houston 11. Philly. I feel comfortable with a 9, so we'll make this a 10. And then we'll just... Man, I don't want to put my 11 on the road team, but it's probably how it's going to have to go. 5. And then we'll just basically do the same thing here where we just move everyone up 1. And... except this one. Man, this one's tough, I won't lie. I think actually, you know what? We got it right here. Boom. Let's get it. Sorry for that, sorry for the sound effects that last like 25 seconds. I was, trying to just mess around with some numbers and everything. But, this is what we're looking at so far, honestly. I kind of like it. Anything I'm nervous about, Atlanta a little bit as a dog, but Tennessee, I feel like, with the 2 new starting quarterback. Only one so far. Rookies are like 1 and 4 starting. So if Will Levis does start, I like my odds there. I don't mind the Kansas City number. I like the Baltimore number. San Fran, I am a bit nervous about. Just simply for the fact that they might be dealing without Brock Purdy. If Brock Purdy does come back, I feel a little bit better about it. But even though I'm still a bit nervous, I also notice how it's hilarious that pretty much that night game, that 4 p.m. the night window is going to be huge for me with that 15, 13, 14, 12 all at the back end. So I might be trying to make some ground up in there. The back end might be good for me if I can have a decent week. But yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking for picks for the week. So that's where we're going to leave it off at. For those of you who are curious about the overview, if you clicked late or missed misclick towards the middle. These are what the rankings look like if you're curious. Just barely above the group average. I just want to be better, man. I got to be better, honestly. This is all it comes down to. I felt like last week there was like 2 or 3 games I missed. I got to be better. I feel a little bit more decent about my picks this week, a little more confident in the teams. I just got to be better, man. It pisses me off that I'm in 5th. I just got passed because my grandpa, who's King Michael, he won last week pretty much, and him winning last week by like 12 or 13 is what got him past me. But as you can see, 5-4-3, we're starting to separate ourselves from the bottom a little bit. The top is way ahead. We just got to be a little bit better, so that's going to be the goal for this week. I just want to be a bit better with these picks. My goal, honestly, there's 16 games this week. I want to go 11-5. Minimum 11-5. If I don't go 11-5, I'm going to be pretty upset with myself. I might even want to go like 12-4. Like, I ain't going to lie, I'm going to be greedy this week, boy. But yeah, that's going to be it for this. I'll see everybody back on the gridiron for my bets for the weekend. Yes, sir. All right. So like we said, I just went over Pickem real quick. Not bad. Quick news before I do that, though. Quick news before I get into college football bets. Anthony Richardson, successful surgery. Mike Williams just got successful surgery. Those were both just recently announced. Mike Williams, as I was speaking, basically got announced. So just want to share that real quick. Shout out to them boys. Basically, so how this is going to go for those of you who are new, I forget to write down my picks every Thursday. I got them all on my phone, got everything locked up. Forget to write them down on the sheet. So pretty much what we're going to do is I'm going to basically be giving out my plays for Thursday. When it comes to college football, we're going to do all college football first. All college football first, and then we'll move on and do NFL football to end it. And then I might touch on a few sports in the show. We'll see how it goes time-wise. But yeah, tonight there's one college football game, FAU versus Charlotte. I lead FAU, but it's 3.5, so I'm going to stay away. Just because it's 3.5. If it was under 3.5, I'd lean FAU. But with the big 3.5, I'm going to stay away. Two mid teams. By the way, I guess MLB, I lied. MLB starts tonight, baby. Shout out. I thought the game started Friday. World Series starts today, baby. So I guess there's your baseball talk up. Rangers favored. We'll be interested to see how that series goes. Yeah, going into the Friday. I'm a jackass. I just told you. Alright, that's actually quite embarrassing. We're going to basically have to restart the segment. Usually I would cut this out, but I'll leave it in. I'll just kind of explain myself. So I was on Friday's score. So that's why that makes a lot more sense. The World Series does indeed start Friday. I'm just a jackass and read it from the wrong thing. FAU also plays on Friday. So I might end up taking them to have a play Friday. Tune in to Captain by Hook tomorrow for that. But when it comes to tonight, we got Georgia State versus Georgia Southern. And then we got, that's a really good matchup. And then we got Virginia Tech versus Syracuse, college-wise. I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of lean Syracuse at +3, but I'm going to stay away. I'm just going to stay away. I don't trust this either side. Then when it comes to Georgia State, Georgia Southern, I'm trying to remember which team. I think I bet on Georgia State last week against Louisiana, and they ended up doing decent. So I might just go back to the... I'm going to go back to the well again, honestly. Give me Georgia State +1.5. They're even on the money line. If you want to take a money line, I can't blame you at all since it's a 1-point spread. But I'm taking Georgia State simply for the fact that I took them last week. Even though they are on the road, but they got the best odds, and they're a 6-1 team playing a 5-2 team. They're both very similar teams. I would assume at least record-wise. I don't know like the intricate details of like these teams' seasons. Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge football fan, but I can't follow every single team. So, like, this is one of those examples of the way this team has played. Georgia Southern's actually a pretty decent team. I remember they got destroyed by James Madison, though. Like, absolutely destroyed. Their only 2 losses are against James Madison, who's really good, in Wisconsin, who just a bigger program than them, versus Georgia State. Their loss came a few weeks ago to Troy, and other than that, they've been... I'm going to take Georgia State here, but I'm not going to be shocked if Georgia Southern wins. It's going to be basically one of those situations. I'm not going to I don't know, so basically I guess I'm giving it out because I'm talking about it, but don't be shocked if Georgia State ends up losing. That's just the side I'm on. I like them just slightly over Georgia Southern, but I could honestly see either side winning that game. So that does it for tonight. Friday's action I just talked about, saying it was Thursday. We got baseball. Rangers favored. Not taking that, obviously. College football-wise, Florida Atlantic Might end up leaning towards them as the day goes on. We'll see. I just don't. I don't know. I'm going to stay away from there. So now we're going to take this into Saturday. This is where basically all my bigger bets are. I don't know how many I have. I forget how much I wrote down. I'll basically, before I give out every bet as well, though, I'll talk about every game that I'm going through. So pretty much, I'll just talk about games. I'll let you know if I'm betting on them or not. First game, I am not betting on, but I'm very intrigued to watch. Oklahoma, Kansas. Oklahoma, 9-point favorite. They are, I think, 9-0 ATS on the road, so that is the only thing that makes me very tempting. The Big 12 has no defense, though, and that over 65.5. That is kind of tempting, but I might just stay away. Jason Bean burned me last weekend. I don't think Jalen Daniels is still starting. I don't know what's going on with him. Apparently, Cam Writing for Utah is also out for the year. That was just something that was just floated on Twitter. I don't know how true that is, but I just heard that. And apparently now that's out there. Yeah, Jalen Williams is probably not starting week 9, so that's probably ended up a stay away for me. Florida State, Wake Forest. That's another game I'm interested in. I'm just going to watch lately. Wake Forest has been, let's say, pesky. How about that? I'm just curious to see if they. This is a big game for the Florida State, basically. If they can cover big here, which is like kind of a statement after a big Duke win. But if not, I mean, it is what it is. Regardless, they just need to win the game. I'm just curious to see if they actually cover the spread, if they just win a close game after a big game last week against Duke. Another game I'm not betting on, but I'm watching and curious about. Penn State, Indiana. I kind of want to take Indiana plus 31.5 because Penn State's offense is just absolutely pathetic. But at the same time, I just can't. Indiana's horrible, man. Oh my man, 31's a lot of points. I just don't. We'll see. I'm gonna see what the over is actually real quick. Over is 46.5. That might be tempting. We're gonna check Indiana's team total too real quick, but I'll probably just end up taking. Dude, I don't want to do it, but I might do it. We might be taking Indiana plus 31.5. Just after what happened last week, but I think it's a big game. It's a big game for Penn State. That's the only thing. We'll come back to this at the end of the sheet. I'm going to look up the team total for Indiana real quick if it's over 6.5 again, because last week it was. And yeah, away team total points is 6.5 minus 138. I'm going to take that. Indiana over 6.5. That's going to be the first bet of the day. That's a team total, by the way. Their team total over 6.5. I mean, they just basically got to score a touchdown. I know Penn State shut out Iowa, but I just feel like Indiana at some point in that game is going to be able to get a touchdown. So that's going to be my first bet. I'm going to take IU plus 6.5 team total. Past that, UCF, West Virginia. I'm very intrigued in this game. UCF is. I kind of want to take UCF, but because West Virginia is starting to have a little bit of a slide after having a good start, but I'm going to stay away from that one. Maryland, Northwestern. I kind of want to take Northwestern plus the 14. Oh, this is tempting. I'm just trying to figure out injuries real quick last second before I give it out, because I'm like basically. The only issue is the quarterback from Northwestern is kind of hurt. He's considered day-to-day, though, so I'm going to assume he plays. Assuming he plays, give me Northwestern plus 14. I'm hoping this can move plus 14.5. I just think that Maryland, after starting off the season really, really well, started to like cool off, definitely. They lost to Illinois 2 weeks ago, so they're coming off a bye, but they're coming off basically 2 losses. I could see them winning, but I don't know if they're going to win by 14. That just feels like a lot of points. I'm going to lay that there. Georgia and Florida, I'm interested just to see how Georgia does. This is a game. Georgia should beat them by 14, but I'm just way too scared to take it, so I'm going to stay off that. Mississippi State, Auburn. I am very tempted to take Auburn minus 6.5, but these are basically. I just can't do it, honestly, as bad as it is. Purdue, 2-5, taking on 4-3 Nebraska. They're 2.5-point favorites. Nebraska has a lot of guys out, if I believe those the issue. 2 wide receivers. I don't forget how long the running back's been out. But they have 3 wide receivers if you count the one guy, 2 running backs and a tight end. They have a. Man, I don't know. I want to take Purdue a little bit, but I just don't think I can do it. I'm just going to stay away for a little bit. If I can get Purdue at 3.5, I'll definitely take that. But, man, those are two bad teams. Those are two bad teams, I'll tell you what. Next bet for sure, give me Duke +4. Sorry this is taking so long. I feel like I'm overly talking about every team. I'll try to cut down the breakdowns a little bit. I just feel like I'm over talking about some teams, and other teams I'm just kind of blowing by, like, yeah, I'll take this bet. And then other ones like, oh, I'm not taking this. But I give this long explanation why I'm not taking it. We'll try to even out a little bit. We got Duke +4. I'm assuming Riley Leonard is going to play. It does suck, though, because he kind of tweaked his injury last week against Florida State. I kind of wish they just sat him out at that point so he could be fully good by this game. But, yeah, I think Duke's defense is a little bit more slightly talented. I just think Duke's overall slightly better than Louisville. So I'm going to be taking Duke +4. Virginia against Miami. Might be an automatic. But, sorry, I just skipped one. Oregon, Utah. The Utah's defense in the middle has kind of been suspect, and Bucky Irvin for the Oregon has been running the ball really well, so that's probably why I'm going to end up staying away from this. I am very interested, though, in this game. I might even end up watching this game after the live bet at some point if I get a good number I like. I'm going to take the Virginia spread plus 18.5. This is psychotic. I just think they might be in season ruining mode. They played really well last week. They fought hard last week. They basically have to win out, I think, to reach a bowl. So I think a bowl game's pretty much out of the picture. But Miami played last week. They beat Clemson without their starting quarterback. Miami might be riding high. Virginia also could be riding high after their big win. But yeah, I won't lie. This is a spot where it's like, I think this is probably a bad spot to take Virginia after coming off a big win against UNC. But I feel like Miami has potential to let down as well. They just beat Clemson. I could definitely see Miami winning by like 40. Don't get me wrong, Virginia is pretty bad, but Miami. The big thing is I think Miami's gonna let them hang around. I think they're just gonna let them hang around long enough to where maybe the 18 can get backdoored. So I'm gonna be taking that there. Pitt, Notre Dame. I got nothing in that game. I'm just gonna be watching Notre Dame, supporting my boys. USC -11 over Cal. No, thank you. I'm curious to see. I'm just curious to see how it goes at this point. USC's defense has just been miserable. Caleb Williams feels like he has to basically score, I think, a touchdown in every play. It feels like you can kind of tell in the way he's playing. He's playing tense. He just feels like he's forcing a lot of issues, and that's been messing with him a bit, so I'm going to have to lay off there. Tulane, 10.5-point favorites over Rice. That is very tempting. Very, very, very tempting. You know what? We're going to take it. I haven't rode Tulane. I haven't rode that green wave all year. We'll ride that green wave a little bit. Give me Tulane -10.5. Rice has not been that good this year. Tulane has been doing a decent job of covering, especially against like non-ranked teams recently, so I'm going to be taking that. Tennessee -3.5 over Kentucky. I am very tempted to lane Kentucky in this. You know what? I'm not even going to think about this. I'm just going to fade Tennessee at this point. We'll do Kentucky I think it's Kentucky plus, actually. Yeah, Kentucky plus about 3.5. I faded Tennessee last week. I faded Tennessee about like 3 or 4 times this season. I think I've made money, knock on wood, about a good amount of those, so I'm going to stay there. We have to take these boys. I hate to say it. Everyone's going to be on Colorado State. Everyone's going to call me crazy probably for doing it, but the wagon, baby, Air Force. The Air Force Falcons, baby, -13.5 over Colorado State. I just got to do it, man. Air Force is 7-0. I seriously think other than one week against Wyoming. Wyoming was the first week, but even then I live bet it. So if you want to count that live bet, this team is 8-1 for me. So I guess I'd be 7-1, huh? I can't math, dude. I suck. No, 7-1. Though Air Force has been a covering machine for me. They lost their wagon title because they simply just didn't cover last week. So they aren't a wagon anymore, but they still are a covering machine. They've been doing me well, so I have to ride Air Force again. I'm not going to say they're my TCU of last year because TCU was sexy to me, boy. But they've been doing decent. I just poked my eye. And about blinded myself, boy. Ohio State -14.5 over Wisconsin is very tempting. Ohio State's defense is absolutely insane. It's just going to come down to the offense. I'm going to write this down as a question mark, but I'm not for sure if I'm going to take it. this one, we're going to do this one, and then what was the other game I think I said? Indiana. Don't be surprised if I appear on Captain by a Hook and I do end up taking these tomorrow if I don't get them out at the end of the show. I just truly... Ohio State minus 14.5 and IU plus 31.5 are two games that I'm very tempted on taking just because they're big covers. One's a big cover for IU that Penn State could just lay off the gas a little bit, but they also might need to get the offense going after what they played last week, so they could just beat up on Indiana. Versus Ohio State's in a similar boat. The offense wasn't fully going last week, but they did get the win. They're building towards Michigan, who they play in a few weeks. They play in a month, pretty much. So, I mean, this could be a game where they... I mean, 14.5 is not too much. Wisconsin is not the best team ever, but I think I'm probably going to end up staying away. So, next one, Colorado plus 17.5. Hell yeah. After coming off a bye. UCLA's defense is pretty decent. Yeah, I mean, UCLA's defense isn't too bad. They're coming off a big win against Stanford. But, I mean, Colorado's offense should be able to keep them in the game with how good it can be. I mean, it's just, obviously we can tell that Colorado's a work in progress this year as they're 4-3. They probably lost, like, 2 games they easily could. I'm not going to say easily could have won, but they probably could have won 2 of those games, but they just ended up not being able to. So I'm going to take Colorado here to cover 17. That's especially 17 and a hook. That's a lot of points. I think this Colorado offense definitely can hang. The only thing that's going to scare me is the defense. Just because I think UCLA's defense is pretty good, but I think UCLA's offense can be just average enough to let Colorado hang around. So we'll see. 17, like I said, is a lot of points as well. I have, I think, 3 more games. Oklahoma State versus Cincy. I'm very interested in watching this. I'm not going to take it, but I might take it. Oklahoma State's been getting a lot better. That's very tempting late game, so I'm going to write it down because I might. You know what? We'll take it. Why not? Oklahoma State plus 7.5. Minus 7.5. This was a game that I was looking at yesterday that I just could not fully decide on. Cincy's been bad. Cincy's been struggling to score a little bit. They lost at home to Baylor last week where they were able to score 29 there, but scored 10 the week before, scored 27, scored 6, scored 24. So they're on a little bit of slides, though, so that does scare me. But Oklahoma State's been finally kicking it in the gear. They've been getting a little better. So give me Oklahoma State minus 7.5. Oregon State minus 3.5 over Arizona. I'm very interested just to see how this game goes. I'll probably be in bed by the time this game finishes, but I'm just curious to see how that game goes. UNC versus Georgia Tech. I want to take UNC minus 11.5. But they didn't do shit last week, so I'm just going to stay away from minus 11 and just hope that they can cover. Last game, biggest game of the day, biggest spread of the day. The wagon, baby. James Madison. We're going right back to him. James Madison, minus 20. 20.5. By the way, I've gone really long. I apologize on that. I went way too long in college. James Madison minus 20, though. This team's been a wagon for me. This team is actually a team that's covered every game I've bet on them except for one, and that's a game I bet against them. Other than that, I think actually the line, there might have been 1 week where they potentially didn't cover. But other than that, they've been absolutely just winning games and covering, so I love that. James Madison, give me the minus 20.5. So, okay, that's all college, baby. Went way too long, honestly. Let me go through real quick. Northwestern plus 14. IU over 6.5 team total. I need to write odds. I should have wrote odds down for that. I'll do it after the show. I don't got odds for you. I know minus 138 is the IU team total. Northwestern plus 14. Duke plus 4. Virginia plus 18.5. Tulane minus 10.5. Colorado plus 17.5. Kentucky plus 3.5. Air Force minus 13.5. Oklahoma State minus 7.5. James Madison, the wagon, minus 20.5. And I also have Ohio State minus 14.5. Maybe. IU plus 31.5. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about those 2 games, so we'll have to wait a little bit. But yeah, the rest of them I'm for sure am taking. I'll say them again one more time at the end of the episode, but we're going to end this episode today, baby, doing what we always do. NFL. We're going to go to the men's league. I got 2 bets for you tonight for sure. Got Bucks plus 9, just took it. And I got Mike Evans to score a touchdown anytime. Mike Evans has scored a touchdown in 4-6 games. I look for him to continue it tonight. And then when it comes to the Thursday Night Football, I just think that 8.5 is a lot of points. Especially I got a 9 on BetMGM. Shout out. I think 9 is just a lot of points, honestly. A lot of points. I think the Bucs can keep it close. I don't know if they're going to win, but the Bucs can potentially backdoor, keep it close. I just don't see the Bills blowing anybody out right now, especially with the defensive issues they're dealing with, and just the way they've been playing. They got to win me back. They've been playing kind of butt. So yeah, that's my play. Those are my 2 for sure plays tonight. Check out staredownsports.com if you want to see what my nasty boy is going to be. I haven't made the nasty boy yet. We're about to probably do that after the show, and then I might have one more prop as well. I haven't fully looked, but those are the 2 props I for sure love for this game, or the 2 bets, I guess, is Bucks +9, Mike Evans anytime touchdown score. Mike Evans anytime is like +190. I love it. Let me move on now to the NFL the rest of the week. Quickly to burn through these games, Eagles -6.5 over Commanders. I feel like this is the line last time, then they won by field goal, so I'm staying away. Jags -2.5 over Steelers. I just can't do it as much as I want to. I can't get myself to do it. Sunday, Colts money line, give it to me. This is the fan bet of the week. I'll probably take them on the spread, whatever they are, +1, +2. If you're that bet I'm giving out is the Colts on the spread, I'm probably just gonna ride the money line because it's only 1.5. But spread gets better, I might do it a little bit more. Texans are -3. That is a question mark bet for me. I am very tempted to take the Texans, but we're gonna wait and see. I just don't know yet. Cowboys 6.5 points favorites over the Rams. I'm all good. Another 2.5, man. The Falcons have been favored or dogs by 2.5 every single game this week, and it always comes down to a kick by Young Hoku. I'm not going to bet on the Falcons. I haven't had too much success betting on them this year. I'm probably going to stay away. Jets -3. I will take that. I like the Jets this week. I think that they will. The Bills not the Bills. The Giants got to win. I think that the Jets will be able to. Basically, now that the Giants got to win, I think that the Jets are in a better spot to win now because the Giants aren't. I'm not going to say they aren't as hungry because obviously they're still hungry. There's still no Daniel Jones. I think the Jets defense is going to be able to do a little bit better to Tyrod Taylor than some of these defensive has now that they've got 2 games left to watch on him. Dolphins 9.5 point favorites over the Patriots, tempting, but I'm going to stay away. Packers 1.5 point dogs with the Vikings. I'm just going to stay away. Ugly game. Seahawks 3.5 point favorites over the Browns. Just slightly too big. I'm going to stay away. 49ers 3.5 point favorites over them boys. The Bengals. I'm going to stay away. Give me Christian McCaffrey to score a touchdown anytime. It's been the only automatic bet that I've been basically giving out. And I mean, if it's on, like I said, if it's -200, I'm going to take the Christian McCaffrey bet all the time. Because even if it's like -180, it's like 20 to win 11. You can still, you can still get decent odds on it. And Christian McCaffrey is probably going to score a touchdown. He scored 16 straight games, I believe is the record now. So yeah, I'm going to be on that. Ravens -8.5, a little too big. I'm going to stay away. Chiefs -7.5 over the Broncos. That's also a little bit too big, even though I think they potentially cover. I might take it. We'll see. There might be a Sunday bet as well. Lions 8.5 point favorites. I'm gonna stay away there, and Chargers 8.5 point favorites. I'm gonna stay away. It's all big spreads, so you know what? I'm gonna take the Chiefs -7.5, just so I can have a few more bets. I haven't done it yet, and I will take Texans -3 just because, like I said, I need to give out a few more bets. I just feel like I gave out no NFL bets. I gave out a shit ton of college. But yeah, that's going to do it for today, man. I'm not going to talk about... I'll talk about my NBA. I'll talk about some more sports news on Tuesdays. I'll just might make Tuesday show might be an hour next week. I might just talk about the sports news I plan on talking about in this episode then. It was nothing big. It was just like some baseball talk, NHL, how that's going on. Just stuff like that. We'll probably save that for next week. But yeah, quickly to end it, to go over my bets real quick. Georgia State money line for Thursday. Bucks +9. Mike Evans anytime touchdown. That's all Thursday. Nothing for your Friday. I lean FAU Friday, especially if I can get them at 3 or 2.5. Saturday, Indiana University Hoosiers team total over 6.5. Northwestern +14. Duke +4. Virginia +18.5. Tulane -10.5. Colorado +17.5. Kentucky +3.5. Air Force -13.5. Oklahoma State -7.5. James Madison -20.5 for the wagon. And then Ohio State -14.5. IU +31.5. I'm thinking about. We'll see though. Sunday, Colts money line, Colts spread. Texans -3. Jets -3. Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown score. Chiefs -7. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the support. I will be appearing. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for all the support. I'll be appearing by Captain by Hook on Friday. If you're curious, join me tomorrow. I'll be giving out maybe an extra bet or two that I found that I love. But for the most part, yeah, man. This is the slate I love. I don't know how much more I'm going to add, but we'll be talking football tomorrow. That's what I love. Love to do it, man. So, yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll see everybody back on this feed on Tuesday if you decide not to join me tomorrow. And shout out to Stay Down Sports, man. Check it out. We've been A lot of written work on there. A lot of just basically sports news. If you want more sports news, feel free to check that out. But yeah, past that, man, I'll see everybody basically on Tuesday or Friday. Let's have a weekend. Let's do it.